All right, so we're diving into AI today, and honestly, some of this stuff is a little unnerving.
It's true, AI is amazing, but we also have to look at the downsides.
Yeah, and you asked for it. So many of you wanted to really get into the recent AI news.
Not just the headlines, though, right? You wanted us to, dig into the less talked about stuff.
Exactly. We're talking about the nitty-gritty details about AI's impact everything from the environment.
Oh, yeah. The environmental cost is huge, and we'll definitely unpack that, especially those viral AI art pieces everyone loves.
Right. Who knew making my dog look like a Rembrandt could be so taxing on the planet?
Well, Sasha Luciani, she's an AI expert we'll be getting into. She's been really vocal about that.
Okay, so what's she saying? Lay it on us.
So she basically drops this bombshell. AI, particularly the kind that creates all those cool images and generates text, is a huge GE energy consumer.
Really? I mean, I knew it took a lot of power, but how much are we talking?
Think of it this way. One single high-res image generated by AI that's like fully charging your phone.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
multiply that by every AI image created in a day, every day.
Okay, yeah, that adds up fast. So where's all this energy use coming from? Is it the creation process itself?
It's actually the training process that eats up the most juice. Imagine teaching a computer to, recognize a cat.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this.
You'd have to show it tons of images, right? Like
Yeah.
thousands, maybe millions of cat pics just so it gets it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But these big AI models, they need to crunch through mountains of data like that, and that takes some serious computing power.
Exactly. And all that computing power equals a ton of energy. And, to be honest, companies like Google,
A
OpenAI,
chat GPT people, right?
yeah, them, they haven't exactly been upfront about just how much their AI development is impacting the environment.
So it's kind of like a black box. We know AI uses energy, but not the specifics.
It's like they're keeping the true environmental cost under wraps, which makes it really tough to, hold them accountable.
That's a good point. If we don't even know the scale of the problem, how can we even begin to fix it?
It's like buying a car without knowing its gas mileage. Makes zero sense.
Totally. So what can we do? What can everyday people do when it's these tech giants calling the shots?
Honestly, it starts with awareness. Just like we think about the environmental impact of, say, the food we eat or the cars we drive.
Right, like being a conscious consumer.
Yes. We need to start factoring in the environmental cost of our digital lives, our AI use included. Even asking those companies to be more transparent. That's huge.
To like voting with our wallets in a way, right? Supporting companies that align with our values.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe we'll start seeing AI tools with energy efficiency ratings, like appliances.
That would be game changing. Okay, so we've covered the environmental angle, but there's another elephant in the room, right? Our jobs.
Yeah, we can't ignore that. And this IDB study we dug into, well, let's just say it paints a pretty sobering picture.
It really does. Millions of jobs at risk, both here in the US and down in Mexico, and not everyone's going to be lauded equally either.
It's like AI is about to cause a seismic shift in the job market, especially for women and folks in those lower skilled jobs.
Hold on, why are those groups particularly vulnerable? I haven't really wrapped my head around that part yet.
Think about it. Companies are always looking for ways to, cut costs and be more efficient.
And what's more efficient than a workforce that doesn't need sleep, breaks, or benefits?
Exactly. AI is great at automating things, but the jobs that are easiest to automate are often the ones that women and lower skilled workers rely on.
So it's not so much about AI taking over the world, but more about it changing which jobs are valued.
You got it. And that's why education and learning new skills are going to be more important than ever before.
Because if we're not careful, a huge chunk of the population could get left behind.
It's like a race against time. We need to adapt and evolve our workforce faster than AI can automate it.
It's a lot to unpack, for sure.
It really is a race. And honestly, it's a little scary to think about the consequences if we lose.
No kidding. It's like we're trying to outrun a technological tsunami or something.
And speaking of adapting quickly, that's exactly what China's doing. They're not messing around when it comes to AI.
Yeah, their proposed regulations on labeling AI content, that was pretty eye-opening. It's like they're trying to get ahead of the whole is it real or is it AI dilemma.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is their reasoning behind it. They're laser focused on protecting their national security.
Oh, interesting. So how does labeling AI tie into national security? I'm not quite making the connection.
Think about it. AI could be used to create super realistic fake news or propaganda.
Oh, right, like those deep fakes everyone's talking about. It's getting harder to tell what's real anymore.
Exactly. And if you can't trust what you see and hear online, That can cause some serious chaos.
It's like, how do you even begin to fight disinformation when AI can create it faster than you can debunk it?
It's a nightmare scenario, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just about fake news articles either. We're talking about the potential to manipulate everything.
Okay, yeah, now it's starting to feel like we're living in a sci-fi thriller.
Tell me about it. But here's the thing. China's regulations, they're like a canary in a coal mine. It's a sign of things to come globally.
You think so? So are we going to see other countries follow suit, putting their own rules in place?
It's only a matter of time, I think. The potential for AI to be used for, less than noble purposes is too big to ignore.
It's a whole new world of ethical dilemmas, and we're all just trying to figure it out as we go.
And hopefully before it's too late, right? But hey, on a slightly more optimistic note, remember we were talking about using AI to fight misinformation.
Oh, right. It's like fighting fire with fire. Kind of a risky move, don't you think?
It does sound a bit counterintuitive, but some of the research we found is actually pretty encouraging.
Oh, really? So how does that even work? Do they, like, set loose an army of AI bots to combat conspiracy theories online?
You're not far off. Researchers basically created this AI chatbot and designed it to, engage with people online who believe in conspiracy theories.
Okay, so they're going head-to-head with the conspiracy theorists. Were there any fireworks?
No virtual fistfights, but the results were pretty remarkable, actually. The AI was surprisingly effective at getting people to, reconsider their beliefs.
Wait, seriously, people actually change their minds based on a conversation with a bot?
It sounds crazy, right? But that's the thing about AI. It can remove that kind of emotional element that often gets in the way of rational thinking.
I guess that's a good point. So was it just a temporary change, or did it actually have a lasting impact?
That's the really promising part. The effect seemed to last for months.
Wow, that's huge. Because it means maybe, just maybe, we can actually combat this tidal wave of misinformation online.
Exactly. And it also challenges that whole assumption that once someone goes down the rabbit hole, they're gone forever.
Totally. So instead of AI being the bringer of fake news, it could actually be the hero of the story. Kind of ironic when you think about it.
It's a
And
real plot twist, right?
yeah,
But it shows that AI has the potential to be this incredibly powerful tool for good.
imagine a world where AI helps us navigate this crazy online world, filtering out the noise and showing us what's true and trustworthy.
It would be like having a personal BS detector, Red. Sign me up.
Me too. But let's be real, for that to even be a possibility, we need to trust AI. And right now, I'm not sure we're quite there yet.
Yeah, it's like this double-edged sword. AI could either lead us down a path of truth and clarity.
Or send us spiraling into a black hole of misinformation and distrust, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, we don't even really know which way it's going to go, do we?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to make it even more complicated, we have to think about who's controlling these AI systems.
Right, because it's not like AI is developing in a vacuum.
No.
There are humans behind it, making decisions about how it's used.
Exactly. And those humans, they come with their own biases, their own agendas. It's like, how do we ensure that those biases don't seep into the AI itself, shaping its outputs in ways we might not even realize?
It's a huge challenge. And it's not just about bias either.
Yeah.
There's also the potential for AI to be used for, straight up malicious purposes.
Right. Cyber attacks, propaganda, even manipulating financial markets.
The possibilities are, well, kind of terrifying if you think about it too much.
It's a lot to process. It feels like every time we answer one question about AI, 10 more pop up in its place.
And that's AI in a nutshell, isn't it? It's complex, it's constantly evolving, and it's challenging us to think differently about, well, pretty much everything.
Today's deep dive is a perfect example of that. We've gone from the very real environmental impact of AI
To the potential for massive job displacement, not to mention China's efforts to rein it all in.
and then there's that whole mind-bending concept of using AI to fight misinformation. It's like we stepped into an alternate reality.
It's a wild world out there, that's for sure. But with all this information swirling around, where does it leave us? What are we supposed to do with all of this?
That's the question, isn't it? It's easy to feel overwhelmed, like we're just along for the
But,
ride.
but we're not powerless, right? We have
Um,
to remember that.
So what's the first step? How do we go from feeling overwhelmed to actually taking control?
For me, it starts with education. The more we understand about AI, how it works, its potential benefits and risks.
The better equipped we'll be to navigate this rapidly changing landscape.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, as they say.
Wow.
And part of that knowledge is asking the right questions.
Like, what are the ethical implications of this new AI-powered tool? Or how is this company ensuring that its AI development is sustainable?
We can't just passively accept whatever AI throws our way. We need to be active participants in shaping its development.
And that means speaking up, holding companies accountable, demanding transparency.
It's about making sure that AI is used for good, that it benefits humanity as a whole, not just a select few.
Because this isn't some far-off sci-fi fantasy anymore. This is our reality.
And the decisions we make today, they will determine what that reality looks like tomorrow.
It's a lot of responsibility, but it's also incredibly exciting. We're on the cusp of a technological revolution.
And who knows what the future holds? Maybe AI will help us solve some of the world's most pressing problems.
Or maybe it'll create a whole bunch of new ones that we haven't even thought of yet. Either way, it's a journey worth taking.
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. What possibilities do you see for the future of AI? What role do you want it to play in your life?
Think about it, discuss it, and most importantly, stay curious. Until next time.